Welcome to Make It Happen Monday, my weekly dose of healthy inspiration. Today I have an important update from the American Cancer Society. Every few years, the ACS updates their cancer prevention guidelines to reflect the latest science. And those guidelines have just been updated. I want to tell you what they are, and what's notable about these guidelines is there are some new ones. There's some significant changes from the previous guidelines. So these are the things that you can do through diet and lifestyle to diminish your risk of developing cancer. Number one, exercise even more. The latest guidelines say strive for up to 300 minutes of moderate exercise weekly. That would be equivalent to an hour of brisk walking 5 days a week, or 150 minutes of vigorous activity over the week. That would be like jogging or spinning, 30 minutes, 5 days a week. And these new guidelines are a doubling of the previous guidelines from a few years ago. The bottom line is exercise is extraordinary for cancer prevention, and the longer you can do it and the harder you can go, the better it is, the more effective it will be to decrease your cancer risk. Number two, avoid certain foods entirely. Now, this is big news. They have never in the past used the word avoid. They have in the past provided guidance that says to minimize or restrict certain foods. Now they're saying avoid. Let me translate what that means from a public health standpoint. When the public health powers to be use the word avoid, what they're essentially telling you is they're not able to identify any safe level of intake for 100%, that they can say for 100% assurity is okay and will not increase risk, right? So that's a pretty powerful statement. So what are the foods they're telling you to now avoid totally? Red and processed meat, sugary beverages, refined grains, and processed foods. Now, let's think about what Americans are doing in terms of those guidelines. It's no wonder that we've really not made a dent in cancer incidence. Besides all of these advances we've had in health and biomedical science, we have just as many people overall getting cancer as we did 25 years ago. In fact, some cancers are actually increasing in incidence. So Americans are getting 60% of their calories not just from processed foods, but ultra-processed foods. There are many people that eat red meat every day. There are 40% of Americans that are still consuming sugary beverages on a pretty regular basis. And I would say that most every American, probably 98%, has at least some refined grains every single day. So we got a lot of work to do in that camp. The next guideline, number 3, was include plenty of fruits, vegetables, to include legumes and whole grains. The ACS has always recommended a robust intake of fruits and vegetables, but they've added legumes and whole grains to the list of foods they want you to eat plenty of. And that's wonderful because we know that whole grains and legumes have unique cancer protective properties. And guideline number 4, avoid, there's that word again, avoid alcohol. In years past, the recommendation has always been for women to limit alcohol to 1 drink or less a day, men to limit alcohol to 2 drinks or less a day. They've tightened that up. Ideally, optimally, if you're worried, if you want to know, to decrease your cancer risk as best you can, it's best to totally abstain from alcohol. If you do drink, and this is part of the new guideline, then they say, of course, women should limit to 1 drink or less a day, and men should limit to 2 drinks or less a day. So please make note of those new guidelines, because we do know that what you do through diet and lifestyle can definitely decrease your cancer risk, can make a difference. And a lot of people don't know the power they hold over cancer. We don't have all of the answers. Unfortunately, we do not. You can have people totally healthy that will develop a cancer, but we do know that in totality that we could decrease our cancer risk. Cancers could be avoided if we could get people to eat better and move more. So thank you.